Hey guys, welcome back to Small Time Creators Podcast. I am 1/3 of the Small Time Creators. My name is Mo.
Kim.
Mohammed Hashi.
Nice. And guys, we're here for the Oppenheimer movie review, and there will be spoilers. I'm excited for this,
There'll
guys.
be blood.
Huh?
Sorry.
Great movie.
Sorry.
Great movie.
I was just thinking.
Come on, man.
There's a quote in the movie.
Well, about
I'm
American,
hosting.
about American Prometheus.
I'm hosting, Cam.
Anyway. Let's go. Let's
Sorry,
go.
I'm
Waste some
sorry. I
time. Let's go.
apologize. Let's just be nice.
Did you just put me back in my place?
No.
You did.
I would never do that.
You just put me back in my
I
place.
would never do that. Not in front of your family. I wouldn't do that.
Next week I'm hosting.
I'm saying not in front of
Next
the
week I'm hosting.
All right, guys. So Oppenheimer review. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when the videos are coming up, and follow us on the socials. So you see them in the description below. I'm ready to get into this. Real quick, Kem. Overall thoughts. What are you saying?
You can't ask me, man, because I will literally won't stop talking.
All right, give me quick. 2 lines.
Less than
or something.
25 words.
Yeah,
Less than
2
25
lines.
words.
Less than 25 words. When the movie started, the sound design kept me going through the whole way. I did not, bro. At one point, I was so thirsty. I wanted to go get a drink. I said to Mark, I need to get a drink, and I was kind of hinting at him, but he didn't get it. I was like, can you go get a drink for me, please? But he didn't, and I was like, bro. Ash, take it away, please.
God, Ash.
Take it away.
This,
Overall.
do you know what?
Ash is gonna start talking about Nolan's all his movies.
I don't
No,
care
no,
this
no,
time.
I need to know about this movie.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is why we do this, bro. This is why we do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're all the way back, bro. Let's go.
Let's do
This
it.
movie from start to finish, like Kem talks about sound design, yeah. The cinematography, the editing. The editing is so underrated on this movie. Jennifer Lamb, shout out to her. Incredible.
Yeah.
It was like everything about this, the performances. Robert Downey Jr.
Oh,
was so good.
has to
in
big
this.
shout. You know what? I didn't think.
Olden Eric Wright. You know what I mean?
You
He's
know,
on
I-
the comeback trail.
I
you
did.
man.
You know, Robert Downey Jr. is Robert Downey Jr. But you forget after the Avengers and the Marvel, you forget what he has.
Yeah.
How deep he could
But
dig.
Just to answer Mo's question, this is such an outstanding movie. It's such an outstanding. There's a couple of things that stop it from being perfect, but other than that, outstanding movie. Reason why we go to cinema, and 100%. And I watched this on IMAX 70mm at the biggest
Big
screen.
Boy. You went to the big boy.
Yeah, I went to Big Boy, the biggest screen in the
of
country.
course.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Real quick.
Honestly, it was worth it.
Real
Even
quick.
by the way,
Tell the
Let
people,
the
tell,
boy
tell,
talk,
tell the
man.
people what time you went.
I watched this movie at 4:15 a.m.
I respect it.
I had to, bro. I had
respect
to.
it, sir.
I had to because that was the only available kind of like seats we could get was at that time because every single showing was sold out.
These men were having sweets for breakfast.
Hey,
bro.
hey.
I know. I refused to eat. I just had water and coffee.
Had
But
gummy sweets for breakfast.
it was crazy. You saw them. You saw the man were eating. Man, it was mad, innit?
Now you know what nuts, bro.
Oh.
4:15 a.m.
1 second.
But it was worth it. It was worth it. Pure cinema.
Let me just
Love
say
it.
one thing. Yaus, I apologize. I said certain things weren't going to be in the movie, and they were. I apologize if I spoiled it for you.
I feel like if things are in hit, okay, real quick, spoilers. What we're talking about is Kem ruined for one of our friends that Oppenheimer attempts to poison his teacher. My thing is, if that's part of history, is that a spoiler?
No, because I'm fully aware of the backstory because I'm aware of Oppenheimer.
Sure.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah.
And it was mid conversation between me and Subs, and I was trying to explain to him like, yeah, this guy, because he's a diagnosed schizophrenic, but at the end of his career, back then they didn't diagnose him that way.
When
And-
he's working on the project.
yeah, and then it led to me saying, oh, this was a reason why he might have done that, and then it spilled on, and I was like, and I kind of want to get it out.
Yeah.
And then I apologized.
Know your
basically.
thoughts.
I gotta say, yeah, Cillian Murphy could have chemistry with a piece of wood.
Yeah.
This man is one of the greatest actors of our generation or any generation that's ever.
Robert
gone.
Downey Jr. was even saying that.
Robert Downey Jr. was cold in his own way too, but see, you know me, Cillian Murphy's my guy.
Yeah.
Shout out you to Killy, you know what I'm saying?
Killy.
Shout out to you. But no, man, every scene that he was like a 3-hour runtime, and I never felt the time.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing.
Mo, can I just give Killian one piece of flowers? Not the whole thing, just one piece of flowers.
Nah,
I'll
he
let you
needs
do it.
the
No,
whole-
no. I'll let you give him the rest of the.
I'll give him the bouquet.
Yeah, I'll just
Go
give him
ahead.
one piece of
Go
flowers.
ahead.
The way he sort of, especially the headshots,
Yeah.
and
Close up,
you're
yeah.
so immersed in a simple headshot.
Yeah, his eyes. Like,
His eyes tells a story, bro.
Yeah.
And that was another beautiful part of having it 70 millimeter IMAX, because there were so many close-ups on faces, and a lot of this movie is just people simply talking in rooms, but it's riveting.
I just wanted to give him a chocolate,
saying?
man. He was so skinny, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Oh
that's-
my
and
god.
by the way, Nolan wrote this movie himself. He usually has a partner, either his brother or someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but he wrote a really good movie. There's some issues, like the kind of same issues that Nolan's always had in terms of writing female characters. He's always had an issue with that kind of.
What's the issue here?
They're kind of very sidelined. They don't have much to do usually. You know
I
what I'm
disagree,
saying?
man.
This-
I think Emily Blunt was out here in this movie.
No,
and also another thing is, because I've seen, bro, somebody tweeted like recently, however long into this movie and I haven't seen a female character, and the first time we see a female character, it's the scene with Florence Pugh where
Yes.
they're doing the business, right?
Yeah.
My thing is, I think that's a crazy way to look at art, because in that time, there's not really, we know the historics like of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's not women that are involved in this project really
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So, do we want misinformation or do we want it to be the real deal?
You want it to be
Is my
accurate,
thing.
close
I don't
to
mind
close.
women being in it.
Yeah.
Of course, I ain't got no problem with that, because I thought Emily
Yeah.
Blunt was amazing in
Yeah.
this. But
You want it close to source, don't
yeah,
of
100%.
No, but I've done a bit of research in this. There were females on the projects.
Okay, if that's the case, then I don't know.
It's
Because we did see
scientists,
females
yeah.
in the project.
Yeah, of course you did.
Women in the
But
project.
not earlier. You know
yeah.
what? Okay. Now let's talk about the movie.
By the way,
Go on.
the fact that his quote, "Destroyer of worlds" and all of that.
Yeah.
How are we first hearing it while they're
Bro,
that was insane. That
Yeah.
scene.
it's funny, but it's not funny because this movie had me literally on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get
If you
into the-
ask Mark, I was literally on the edge of my seat
Yeah.
because I didn't want to miss anything. Go.
Yeah, before we get into the plot, I just want to quickly just shout out the narrative kind of device that Nolan used, which I really, really loved. And it's something he's done in Memento as well, in terms of having a subjective kind of view of the kind of story and also an objective view. So one view, his objective view being in color. So everything that Oppenheimer, his reality being in color, and then everything that was black and white being other people's kind of like view of proceedings, I thought was really interesting. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
Especially everything with Strauss.
Yeah.
I still see the movie as from his perspective, though.
I think overall, but even the stuff with Strauss talking about that conversation that he had with Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to bring up.
He was
And-
so jealous.
Bro,
and-
he's such a jealous.
Let's
slave
hold,
of
let's hold-
man.
let's hold that, please, because I want to lead us
Yeah.
into that.
But yeah.
So going to that, I felt that dynamics of this guy. He's in his own head. He's having
Who's
a beef.
Oppenheimer? Strauss, okay.
He's having a beef with himself
Yeah.
because he's trying to progress by any means. Yeah, through his political career and all that. Yeah, he's so. What's the word? He's so like obsessed internally.
Egotistical.
He's
all of that,
egotistical
yeah.
because a simple conversation that he is not privy to, it shows the character that he is. Because I look at it like if he was Oppenheimer speaking to Albert Einstein, and he would have probably been saying something about Oppie.
Yeah. But the thing is, we see at the end, he wasn't even mentioned.
Exactly. No, that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
For him to now put that in his head, like, oh, he must have said something about me or made him dislike me. It just shows the character that he is.
Yeah.
Because he is projecting
Yeah.
himself in what he thought Oppenheimer was speaking to Albert Einstein about.
So it was that, and then I think the breaking point for him was when he embarrassed him in the hearing
Bro.
about the isotopes and all that
Yes,
stuff.
and again, what was interesting is in his view, in black and white, he was acting like he laughed it off.
Yeah.
There was nothing for him.
Yeah.
But
Then
you know
when
it
you
killed
see
him.
it, but when you see it from Oppenheimer's perspective, he's seething with anger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just
Oh,
incredible.
I'm not gonna lie, that was
man.
funny though. He was just like,
Yeah.
what did you say? I was like, don't worry about that.
What did you guys
Don't worry
think?
about all of that
So
conversation.
what did you guys think of that device being used, as well as the fact that we were going back and forth throughout time, from when he was younger to when he was older, through the hearings, in terms of him being whether or not he was kind of like patriotic to his country, or whether or not he was like kind of being more sympathetic to his kind of communist kind of leanings kind of thing. So what do you guys think of that overall? What
I
did you
thought it
think
was
of the way the
great.
story
Like, it was
progressed?
easy to keep up with. I was never really confused. Like, oh, when are we? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when are we in the movie and stuff like that? It's just interesting because these are such complicated men, especially Oppenheimer. It's kind of like, you did this good but also terrible thing, and it's so like complicated. Like, do I root for you or do I not root for you?
Mo.
And things like, but I also felt so sorry for him in the end when they're doing the hearing and everything's stacked against him.
Yes.
Like they have these big folders, and then his lawyer has this like piece of paper.
Shout out Malcolm Blair, but he was fantastic.
Yes. So they were just doing him that, and Emily Blunt's telling him, "Yo, fight! Like, what are you doing here? Like, they're trying to ruin you here. What are you not gonna fight about it?" And I can tell, like, his passive approach was just to her was just like, "You're being a little punk about this."
Okay, in my referring to that, it's like you have a situation where he is what they call he's like a tormented genius.
Yeah.
But then he's still, the movie shows that everyone has their issues. Everyone, like a genius could still be a bad guy.
Yeah.
And he was a what do they call a gallus back in the days? He's a womanizer.
Yeah.
Bro,
he was getting
big
gassed.
time.
He was getting
you understand?
gassed. Yeah.
But that's,
he was.
But
Because even in the end, they were like, "Oh, he's mad at you because they said that you slept with his wife." He goes,
he don't even
and
know.
the guy goes to him, he said something to him.
He said something like he don't know or something like that.
Yeah, and he's like, "No, not about that. About something else." And I was like,
No, but then you have to understand that's the level of complexity of the character that Nolan portrayed amazing. Like, this guy is not a good guy. Like, he's not a great family man. Look, he just obviously had to give away he's not a great family man. But when it comes to the cause for his ambitions, his
morality,
his
all
art
of that stuff,
and everything, he is for the cause.
Yeah.
That being said, taking me back to the movie, not the person, bro. Little things like the first 10 minutes of the movie, my chest was beating. The sound, my chest was beating.
Sound was crazy,
bro. The music, it just kept me going, and that music could have played through the whole way through. It wouldn't have made a difference for me.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite parts are when like he's just feeling the anxiety, and you can see everything behind him shaking,
bro.
Like the bomb's about to go off, and then it gets lighter and lighter and lighter. I'm like, this is so good.
When the test is successful at Los Alamos. The first when it's actually successful.
Best scene.
When it went quiet and then everything.
Bro,
because he realized.
I think I was the only person who said like.
Because he realized, because Matt Damon's character, Leslie Groves, who Matt Damon was fantastic.
Yeah,
he was incredible from start to finish. Once he realizes they got the bomb, and he's saying, "Okay, let's get this sorted out now. Let's get this sorted out now. Let's get this, what do you call it, on planes.
Yeah,
let's test this." And that's when he realized. That's when he realized, oh my goodness, this is gonna kill so many people. And that moment, and literally, like, he's completely out of his head.
Yeah.
And like he's saying all this stuff, and you hear no sound, you just hear him breathing.
Yeah.
And you can feel the anxiety, you know what I mean, stuff like that in his chest. And then once he's kind of stopped talking, and he's like, and then everyone's around him screaming, and then he's literally walking over dead bodies, and stuff like that. It was incredible.
That's why I feel like the conversation with him and Albert Einstein was so important when he's telling him like the consequences of your actions, and like you're trying to do this good thing, but they're gonna take it and then they're gonna shun you at the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? It happened to me, it's gonna happen to you. Yeah. So
he even predicted like there will be a time where they'll completely go against you, and then they'll celebrate you at the end, bro. And it's not for you. Yeah, it's for them.
And there was a moment like when after the bomb and everything, they sorted it all out, and then he's talking to Matt Damon's character. He's like, "Should I come Washington with you?" And I saw Matt Damon talk about this in the interviews. Like, "Should I go to Washington with you?" And Matt Damon was like, "Why? Like, for what?"
Yeah, for what?
And he knew in that moment, oh snap, they're done with me. Yeah, like they've got what they wanted. I'm done. Like,
bro, okay,
scary.
That scene,
it's so scary.
So scary.
That scene when they're in the gymnasium. And he's making a speech. Yes, he's clearly making a speech where he doesn't want to.
When they're stomping
he's
the
having
feet.
visions and everything.
Yeah, he's
crazy, innit?
Bro, if you lot thought horrors scared me, that scared me.
Yeah,
it is terrible because it's real life.
It's real life, and on top of that, and I think. Again, there was a lot of chatter on the internet about people was upset that Christopher Nolan didn't use sort of Japanese characters, and they didn't show the Japanese people and everything. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I've seen people talk about that.
I'm okay with that. Going back to what I was saying now, the scary thing for me is the mere fact that all these people are cheering, and you see the fallout of a nuclear sort of explosion on the people's faces, and the skins are falling off and everything. Yeah. Bro. And then the people are so happy and they're cheering, and because this is based off history, we know the devastation that's happened.
Do you know what's scary for me?
It hurt me,
Yeah.
and I was conflicted whether I was like, this movie's so great, but I'm actually I'm hurting right now.
Yeah.
Do you know what scene was terrifying for me? Yeah, when they're all in that room and they're trying to pick which city to drop the bomb on, and then my man was like, I'm gonna take Kyoto off the list because me and my wife went on honeymoon.
Yeah,
there.
James Remus when he said
I was
that.
like,
That's crazy.
yo.
It's crazy when James. Yeah.
Has that been documented to actual?
I don't know. He said, I'm taking Kyoto off because of its cultural significance to
And
the
I went
place.
honeymooning
I went honeymooning there with my wife. I'm like, these men are just, they don't care.
Despicable.
And in the movie, the scene with Gary Oldman.
By the way, before we get to that, I thought the most scary thing, I didn't know this before going into the movie, is they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima, yeah?
Yeah.
But then they had to drop it on Nagasaki as well,
yeah.
just so they could prove they could do it again.
Yeah, people don't.
Not because they needed to.
People don't mention that as much. Yeah.
I had no idea.
There's both, yeah.
That destruction
It just
was
shows
just
the
so they
level
could
of,
show they could do it again.
It just shows the level of inhumanity
Yeah.
these people are willing to go, because you have to understand these people are into politics, and like you have to understand the Strausses of the world, yeah, the Matt Damons of the world, is it Hoover?
Truman.
Was it Truman?
President Truman.
Howard Truman.
Yeah. And they said, "Oh, don't give me. I don't want to see any babies in." What was it?
Man said, get that crybaby out of
Yeah,
here.
get the
He said, get that. When he said, I have blood on my hands, and he took the handkerchief and he's like,
Here goes
he's like, here you go. I was like, yo, these man, they don't care.
Brother,
They
Gary
don't care.
Oldman's the best, by the way.
They don't
What?
care about.
He had one scene.
Yeah.
He had one scene.
It was
he does that.
fantastic. Yeah, it was
Incredible.
really good.
Incredible.
He's like to him, bro, don't worry. He goes, you made it.
One second.
He goes, you made it. I dropped it.
Mo, 1 second. Shall I tell you how engrossed in this movie I was?
You didn't even know it was
I didn't
him.
know it was Gary Oldman.
Wow.
It took me a minute.
Wow.
It took me a whole
That's
minute.
incredible.
And then I saw it and I was like, yeah, that's Gary Oldman.
Shall I tell you why?
Yeah.
I was on the edge of my seat, and I was literally looking at his lips, just spewing bile.
Yeah.
Just talking about these
You were
people
into
like
this.
that,
You were
like
into
they
this,
were
bro.
pawns.
Yeah.
I was literally watching his lips move.
It's just numbers to them.
When he-
200,000.
When he said to Oppenheimer, like, it's not about you.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm the one who dropped it.
Yeah, he goes, you just made it. I dropped it. Don't worry
Because
about
I
all of
dropped
that.
That's crazy. That was crazy.
And that's kind of what made me like Oppenheimer a lot more, like the fact that he actually had morals when it came
Yes.
to this thing. Even
And
though
was
he
willing
did,
to sacrifice himself.
I get it. Even though he made this thing in the end, and
I think ultimately he wanted to be more of a martyr at the end, because for me he was a scientist first. He started something. He knew he could.
bro,
He knew he could build something. He knew he could see something, because he was.
Bro, he's naive.
historically-
He's naive.
Yeah, historically,
Yeah.
he's not the stereotypical like genius.
Yeah.
yeah. Where even Albert Einstein, where he could theorize everything.
Yeah.
Practically, he's dead. He cannot use his hands, so
Yeah.
he always needs somebody. So giving him a project where he could, from conception to actual, like the genesis, materializing
Yeah,
what
applying
he's
it, yeah.
done, and then only then he realized. You know, when you're in the mood, you're doing it, and then you realize you're breaking like 10, 20 plates around you. But
Yeah.
once you finish, you're like, you see the devastation.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
snap.
When Matt Damon says, "Oh, there's no need to come, Washington,"
Yeah.
that's when he.
That's what he
realized.
knew, yeah.
You know how powerful
They're
that
done with
was.
it, yeah.
Mad,
That was powerful.
Because it lingers.
so
The
good.
camera lingers on Matt Damon as well. Once
Yep.
when he's putting in his jacket, it's like,
Yeah, well,
what?
why? Yeah.
What?
yeah.
He literally like, but yeah, guys.
And then that's when he spoke to Tellers, innit?
Yes.
And they met in the
Thank
middle.
you. I
Tellers was a great
I
character.
wanted to mention because Tellus was Benny Safdie.
Yeah.
And him and his brother are great directors who did
Yeah.
Uncut Gems,
They
Good
did,
Time,
yeah.
kind of things. And then heaven knows what.
Safdie brothers.
Guys, what I wanted to talk about was the kind of like the start of the movie is obviously him as a younger man, him kind of like learning about quantum,
Physics, yeah.
quantum mechanics, physics, all that kind of stuff. And then what I want to kind of talk to you guys about is the whole Los Alamos when he's becomes the director of the Manhattan Project. That whole sequence, him making the town, him kind of like being the leader kind of thing.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that sequence? And then also after they make the bomb, the fallout and the kind of like the hearings, his hearing, and then also RDJ. So what did you guys think of that?
Yeah.
I thought it was cool. What he did, honestly, like building the town and trying to give these the people's wives and stuff like that jobs. I thought that was pretty admirable.
best.
The thing that was crazy to me is at the end they were like to him, "So what we doing with Los Alamos?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna give it back to the Indians." Obviously, they're like, "Nah,
That's the naivety
nah,
again.
we're keeping
Crazy.
that."
That's
He is
the
naive. He is naive, but at the same time, like, I also kind of want to say, like, it's not his fault that he's that naive. He's about the science. Do you know what I'm trying to
Yes.
say? I'm trying to make this work. and he's a little man to this politics. He's playing this politics game as well, which he wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
And in my eyes, it's kind of just like he really thought he was doing good for his country, innit? And then also at the end, when all of these hearings and all that stuff, I think that he just didn't want to believe that his country would do him bad like that.
Yes.
So he wasn't fighting back as much as he could have. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I think he got to a point where he realized where he's like, okay, they have no more use for me.
Yeah.
But at least I've got a platform where the science community, and obviously now I've made a name for myself, they would at least still hear me. I've still got a voice, even though politically he has no move.
Yeah.
He has no.
I thought that the thing was to indict him. It was just to take away his
his
license,
his
security. Yeah.
You have to, taking away your security status is practically.
It's a reputation thing.
No, it's not reputation. It's everything, because what he built is his project.
Yeah.
He has anything beyond that.
Yeah.
Anything that they use with it or do with it, he has nothing to do. He don't know what's going on,
and he's always gonna feel like he has blood on his hands.
Of course he does.
And also Strauss knew that if he gives this guy a platform to speak, he'll always
win. He'll always win.
But for me, I really like the Los Alamos kind of sequence and them kind of creating the bomb in terms of them communicating the science and stuff like that. Yeah. I thought they did it very effectively to the layperson and stuff like that. Yeah. For me, as an engineer, I thought I was alone in this. I'm an engineer and I hate maths. I always hated maths, even though I'm an engineer. And then they mentioned that a few times. Even Albert Einstein says, "Oh, I hate maths. I'm the wrong guy to talk to." I thought that was funny. I always thought I was the only person who hated maths as an engineer, or someone in the science kind of thing. I thought that was fantastic. But for me, the hearings were so effective because initially, like, I was like, oh, they've kind of like slowed the movie down. Oh, now they're going to get into rooms and talk. Well, it was this fantastic sequence about him learning about quantum science, bringing it from Europe to America, him creating the bomb. I think, oh, now we've lost all momentum. But it didn't. Yeah.
It was
so fantastic.
You know, a bit was great for me. No, sorry, I can't take anything away from what you said.
Go ahead, bro.
No, I'm just saying that what bit was great for me when he was sitting in, it was in Europe, I think it was in Germany. And then I can't remember the guy who said to the German guy, he's like, oh, don't worry, I'll translate for you. And up he starts speaking in German.
Yeah.
And then he was,
I think it was Dutch. I think it was.
It was Dutch or German. Yeah.
Also,
I just thought that was brilliant.
That character was fantastic. I forgot his name. The guy that was the kind of the larger character with the glasses.
I know who you're talking about. He was like his one ally, man.
Yes.
It's crazy.
I loved how they also brought back him giving him some fruit, some oranges.
Yeah, eat something.
In his thing, eat something. It's so skinny kind of thing, and then he does it at the hearing as well. I thought that was pretty a nice little kind of like payoff there.
What a movie, man! Oh my goodness.
It was just absolutely fantastic. Benny Safdie's Talos. Let's quickly talk about him.
Talos.
Yeah, Talos.
Talos. Yo, it's mixing Secret Invasion. Sorry, he said Talos.
Talos. Sorry, guys. Talos. I thought his character was really good. In fact, like he was trying to push the H bomb the whole time.
Yeah.
And like, and that ended up actually happening, kind of thing. And like, Oppenheimer eventually forgave him, and Emily.
Yeah, that was cold.
Kitty never forgave him.
That scene was amazing when they were giving him the medal, innit?
Yes,
that was really good. Yeah, and it's Albert Einstein talking in the background, talking about like they're gonna try and act like we were cool the whole time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's not really that.
That was just the coldest level of like, get away from me.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt was amazing in this.
She was really a ride or die for him, and he really didn't do.
He didn't do her
any favors.
No, he didn't do any of the women any favors. But the reason why I say Emily Blunt was great in this because it showed her in her absolute element, in her power.
She killed it, yeah.
But then it almost it showed her when she was at her lowest, and the frailties of somebody with postpartum.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have to say it, but it said it.
We knew it. We just knew it.
You guys have changed my mind on that now. Because I thought it maybe I didn't really connect with it that well the first time. Her
postpartum stuff?
No, Kitty.
Just her in general.
In general. So I think when I watch it again, which I will watch it again very soon, I'll
she was the only one out of anybody that was around him that would tell him like it was.
Yeah.
The only one.
Shall I tell you what this reminded me of? Do you remember Babylon with not Olivia Wilde, what's her name? Margot Robbie and the other
the Latino guy. Yeah. I forgot his name.
When they first started out, they both had an idea. Manny thing.
Yes.
Yeah. They both had an idea. They both had a trajectory where they wanted to go. When they met in a party, Oppenheimer and Oppie was like, you know what? All right, cool. She said he don't even know. He doesn't care. Like I don't matter. I'm inviting you, obviously, and your husband as well. She said you don't even. So she already knew and he already knew that they were both estranged. Yeah, because
Yeah.
he was with Florence.
Yeah,
and he was simping.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
so with that being said, I'm just saying. With that being said, she is not the best, but it portrayed her so well.
Yeah.
So she portrayed her when she was really high, when she was in her brilliance and in her absolute power of taking control, as a woman do in a relationship, taking power.
I read her.
Yeah? But then when she was, it showed her fragility, but it did not stop there.
Yeah.
Because I personally felt it would have done disservice to show her loss in her frailties, where she is absolutely low.
Yeah.
But from there to bring her back up where she was in absolute power.
Yeah.
That was great portrayal,
It
in
was
my
really
opinion,
good. No.
of like womanhood, motherhood, or whatever, from a man's point of view.
I agree. That was she was fantastic in this movie, honestly. But yeah, Oscar noms are coming.
100%.
They're definitely coming.
So many of
Listen,
them. For so many.
if I do not see this, I'm done.
Robert Downey Jr. should be
best supporting.
best supporting. Killian,
that's
best
a lock.
actor.
That's a lock. Those two are
Best
lock. by the way.
director.
Those two are lock. 100%.
Those three.
Those three are lock.
Best
100%.
director, 100%.
And I just want to quickly just shout out, because obviously when I was watching this, I could see a great movie that I've loved for a long time, JFK, with Kevin Costner.
Oh, they
throw the
whole
He was the only one.
JFK in there.
Yeah, he supported Oppenheimer, innit?
Yes, and so that movie, in terms of like structure of the movie, like using black and white scenes, objective, subjective. Nolan's taken a lot of stuff from that, so I'll definitely advise the audience as well as yourselves to give that a watch, because there's a wonderful monologue in that movie from Donald Sutherland. And I just want to quickly just again shout out Alden Ehrenreich. Yes, I think that's how you pronounce it. Apologies if I got that wrong. Obviously he got absolutely dragged about Han Solo and stuff like that, or how he couldn't act. That's absolute rubbish. He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah, he had great scenes.
His scene, when he realized, there's a moment when he realizes that Strauss is playing him.
Yeah.
His face was incredible. Once he realized, and then from that moment on, he's 100% against it.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And the moment where he tells him that he's lost the votes, he hasn't got the votes to become a part of the cabinet.
He said it so smugly as well.
He said it so smugly. He goes, and then RDJ, like his character, because obviously his character is a person who has come from poverty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Son of a shoe salesman. You know what I mean? Kind of thing.
I love
and
that.
Then it was fantastic.
That. Lowly shoe. And then it come back around.
Exactly.
I love that.
It came back around. And when his reaction, he's absolutely lost everything that he's worked for in his whole life. He's like, okay, let me go out, and kind of thing. Yeah. And then he goes, and then Thing said, in terms of like, he mentioned again stuff about Oppie, in terms of like him saying something mad about him to Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
And then old Aaron guy goes, maybe they weren't talking
about you.
And then he opens the door. Maybe they're talking about something more important.
And
then that moment, he just looked at his face. He gave him a look.
RDJ gives him a smile as well, like,
you
got me.
You
got me. Yeah, he did it.
Before we wrap, I know we have to wrap.
Yeah.
I want to ask Hash.
Yeah.
The cinematography, like just like visuals.
Yeah.
The visuals, bro.
Yeah.
The explosion, the visuals, especially for the real, but they really did that.
Yeah, no.
They
did a Trinity test.
They
really did a Trinity test.
That explosion.
Nolan went to the desert and they did it.
Is this crazy?
Look, hat off,
bro.
By the way, the expectation of as soon as that bomb goes off, you're gonna hear the biggest kind of cacophony, and the fact that it was silent
was amazing
because the light moves faster than sound.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And the science, the kind of accuracy of science was so incredible.
Bro, it hit me in my chest. Yeah, I could only imagine because Hash went to the big boy.
Yeah.
But it hit me in my chest. Yeah, and I was thinking, I would not like to be in. I wasn't thinking of the great, like, oh, this is amazing. I was thinking, I felt so sad in that moment because what Nolan did, he brought me to a place where it weren't in a cinema. He took me to like a rice field in Japan where innocent people had because that wave, that shot, the aftershock, there's nothing you could do, man.
Yeah. That's why I didn't need to see Japanese people being hurt. I didn't need to see that.
Exactly. You see them in a room looking at a projector of what had happened, and you can see it
through their
on
their
J. Robert Oppenheimer's face. You can see it because literally he looks down. He looks down.
Yeah, the shame.
The shame and the
yeah.
disgust. That's all you. That's all you need.
Yeah.
That was all you needed.
Fair enough.
To get that.
Again, I promise you it's the last one. I love the accuracy in when they were chatting, when they were discussing, and like the generals, the senator and everything was in that room.
Michael Modine, by
And
the way.
then the people. Did you realize the people on the outside the threshold of the door?
Yeah,
What did you notice?
I just saw people there. I didn't
Black
know.
people and people of color.
Were they there?
They weren't allowed in the room.
No way.
Didn't you not hear when they made a comment? But it was from the outside. You hear it was from the outside.
I didn't notice
Yeah.
that. I remember only seeing one black person in the movie when Killian came to see.
To do the recruitment, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the only time I saw
The
one black
accuracy is
person.
incredible.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, please, could we get to that?
Pacing of this movie as well,
Again,
man.
because it didn't feel like 3 hours. That's the beauty of great cinema. When a story is being propelled by the actions of the characters, it's fantastic because then you don't feel the time.
Can you imagine like the job Killian had to learn all of these lines? How he's in every scene, you know, almost every scene.
Yeah.
And
He's
like,
incredible. He is incredible.
I'd need a whole year to learn everything, bro. And apparently Matt Damon was like, because the movie is from like his perspective, like in the script, it wouldn't be like, Oppenheimer goes to the window. It'd be like, I went to the window.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say? So it's like the movie is literally from
Crazy.
his perspective.
Exactly.
And that's another reason why I don't need to see the Japanese stuff. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not necessary.
necessary,
I
yeah.
understand the ramifications of what happened, the consequences of your
Yeah.
actions as well. So, yeah, but fantastic movie.
Yep.
Honestly, I loved it. STC score, boys.
Who you going to me?
You go first, man. I know you want to shout it out. Go on.
I don't think there's anything close to Spider-Man this year until now.
this, yeah.
9.5.
I have to agree.
9.5.
9.5 as well. And how about this? I'll even go further. This is Nolan's best movie.
Hands down.
For me, this is.
Give it time, no?
No,
No,
for now, at least, let him have it.
I'm ready to go there. I'm
Really?
ready.
You
I
don't
was
think
thinking
you
about
need
all
to
this
watch
today.
it one more time or something?
I want to watch it again.
I'm not mad at you for saying
I
it.
think it may even become higher because now I've got more to look at in
Look
terms of
for,
the
yeah,
Emily Blunt Kitty character now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be paying more attention to that now.
Yeah, man. Give her some flowers, man.
Yeah, I will.
She was
I
cold.
definitely will.
It's 8.9 on IMDb right now.
You know,
which
I might
crazy.
give Emily Blunt's character the flowers that what do you call it? Florence Pugh's character kept on throwing in the bin. Maybe I'll give her those.
Oh,
ones.
you know what?
I love that. Nah, but that was a
so
cool.
funny.
You see when he pulled out the logo?
He never gave up on that, by the way.
No, bro.
He never, I love.
He was hugging his.
He's such a
Take this one.
he's such a helpless romantic, but he's still a scumbag.
He's just like the typical back in the day guy. Like, flowers will fix
He's
everything.
he's-
Like,
he's
it's just
a
like,
gallus,
bro,
man.
I just need you to be here. I don't care about the flowers kind of
Yeah.
thing. But
go on, Mo, your STC score.
STC score, I might. Damn, you know what? 9.5. I was gonna go 9. I think I'll stick with 9.
Go.
I'll say 9 out of
That's
10.
fine.
But yeah, it's a near perfect movie in my
Yeah.
opinion. So yeah, that was our review of Oppenheimer. Shout out to you, Christopher Nolan,
Shout out
Cillian
to
Murphy,
Cillian Murphy.
RDJ, Emily Blunt,
Everybody,
everybody.
By
That
the
was-
way, I think Spider-Man is just a little bit over this movie. I still think Spider-Man is the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
you never gave Spider-Man 10 out of 10.
No, I gave it a 9.5, but I just still think that movie is.
Yeah.
is
Hey,
slightly
listen.
better.
I think because of what this made me feel, this is higher than
Okay.
Spider-Man.
I think it's a conversation I'm willing to have.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, this is going to be a bit.
Oh yeah,
very
it's
difficult.
gonna be crazy.
Very difficult, honestly.
But
crazy.
guys, can we just savor this moment?
Please.
Barbenheimer happened this weekend, right?
You know, wrap it up.
No. Real quick.
Yeah.
We're probably hardly ever gonna get a moment like this again.
don't care.
It doesn't happen as
You're
much.
100%
Two
right.
movies that speak about the subjects that they do that came out on the same day, and they're such big blockbuster movies. And also, let's savor this moment because
They share the
after this year, with all of these strikes that are happening, we're not getting quality like this. We're not getting quality like this for a while.
Fair enough.
We're
Fair
going to
enough.
get a lot of dross and stuff
Take
like that.
it in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
You're 100% right, man. That's a great shout.
Yeah, but guys, that was our spoiler review for Oppenheimer. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you know notifications are coming up, and follow us on the socials. And also 5-star on the stream platforms. That would help us out a lot. But yeah, we'll be back soon. Peace.
Let's go.